y'all, it's Robin. Hey, in this video, we're going to talk about living alone when you're over 50. I'm 63, and some of you all I know are in their 70s. Might be a few of you in your 80s. But living alone is not for sissies. Y'all know that. So we're going to talk about, I'm like everybody. I have days when I'm depressed. I have days when I'm very anxious, lonely, right? And today was one of those days. So we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like living alone when you're aging, and then basically what I do about it to help cope with it, and what, give you a couple tips. All right? Okay. So come on. I know your pain. I feel your heartache. Sometimes it's actually physically hurts my heart because it gets so lonely sometimes. Not all the time, but we all have those days. And that's one of the reasons I want to kind of build a community on this channel of older folks who, we're all going through the same stuff, right? So subscribe and you'll get all the videos. They're not all about depression. and this one's not really about depression. It's really about just living your best life and having some joy when you live alone and you're older. And, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. The silence around here is just, it's deafening. I leave my TV on about 18 hours a day, just for some noise. I just can't stand it when it's just so quiet. So I leave my TV on. I should probably get a radio instead, but I leave my TV on and I put some mind-numbing program in the background, like these goofy housewives of wherever, whatever. So, and sometimes when you live alone, your biggest fear is getting sick. Who's going to take care of you? And that's one of my biggest concerns, not now, but 20 years from now, if I haven't found the love of my life. I actually bought this house because it has 2 bedrooms, and so I can have somebody to live with me and let them live here for free. It's not a fancy house. It's just a little old cottage. But that's actually why I bought a 2-bedroom house. It's only 748 square feet, so it sounds nicer than it is. So yeah, living alone, you worry about, falling and hitting your head on a corner of something hard. And nobody finding you for weeks. And here's how I deal with that kind of anxiety. I prepare for whatever anxiety I have. If I have anxiety over maybe the car not starting or working, leaving me stranded in cold weather, which, by the way, it's 22 degrees below zero right now where I'm at in Indiana. So much fun. This is the kind of day that I am really getting on those dating apps. I got to find somebody to cuddle up with on these cold days. So anyway, it's so hard handling everything by yourself. I get it. A couple weeks ago, I was literally out in the backyard crying. I have a couple of metal chairs in the backyard, and honestly, I only have 2 back there because I had one, and then I felt like I don't want everybody to know that I sit out there by myself. I thought it was kind of sad to just have one metal chair out back. So I bought 2 just for looks. Makes me feel better. Who cares? It was $20 on Facebook. So I get it. And you feel so forgotten sometimes, especially at the holidays, your birthday. Even I get, this sounds weird. Some of you might understand this. Let me know in the comments if you feel this way too, or if it's just me, my craziness. On my kids' birthdays, who are in their 40s now, or my grandkids' birthdays, who are, let's see, 15 years old to 26 years old. They're older grandkids. On their birthdays, my kids' birthdays, I get so depressed. Tell me if you feel this way, but I get so depressed because that's when I feel forgotten. I know it sounds stupid, but I send them all, everyone, a happy birthday text. I give them all birthday money, except my kids, my family, they all know that when they turn 30 years old, they don't get any more money from their mom or their grandma. That's the cutoff, 30 years old. But I always send a text and I say, hey, I'm thinking of you. I hope you have an amazing day today on your birthday. I never get a return text, not a, hey, thanks, Graham, or thanks, Mom. Nothing. And I take their birthday money and I either, I put it in their mailbox, drop it off in an envelope in the mailbox, because they're all so busy with their own lives. That's the thing. When you live alone and you have family, and you're older, all of my kids are in their 40s. Their kids are, like I said, 15 to 26. They all have lives of their own. These kids these days, they're all kinds of sports. They have jobs. They have businesses. They have families of their own. They don't have time for their mom or their old grandma. And now I feel bad because I remember the best days of my life were spent with my grandma and grandpa out at their dairy farm. And I wish I knew now, back then, I would have spent so much more time with my grandma. I would have asked her about life and stuff. So, anyway, I get it. I feel your pain. Living alone, being older, it's not easy. And like I said, the worst, a couple weeks ago, I had 4 things go wrong in one day. And they were little things, like I stubbed my toe or something. My car broke down. I got a letter saying that my insurance wasn't going to cover the doctors and hospitals that I go to now that are in town. I'm going to have to go an hour away. It was 4 things in the same day, and I just broke down. I'm like out in the backyard crying, and I said, God, you know me. I'm trying. I'm doing my best. But I can't do it. I can't. I don't want to be responsible for every single thing in my life. I know that sounds stupid. Let me know if you're thinking that too. I want to know that I'm not the only one. But I'm like, I've got to find a good guy or get a roommate or something, because I don't want to make all these life-changing decisions by myself. I want somebody to talk it through. I just bought this house 2 years ago. I sold my other one. I had to go through all that myself and figure it all out, right? Buying cars, doing it all on my own. What do I spend money on this? Do I do this? I needed somebody to drive me to Cleveland, which is like 5 hours away for my surgery in April. I did it myself. I drove myself over 5 hours to Cleveland, to the hospital, Cleveland Clinic. Stayed in a hotel the night before surgery, drove to the hospital the next morning, had my surgery, spent one night in the Cleveland Clinic, and I drove myself home. Who does that? I didn't have anybody. And here's what. I bet y'all feel this too. When you live alone and you're older, I don't ask for help anymore. I don't ask for help. Because here's the thing. They let me down so many times. And them letting me down, I had surgery at Cleveland maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Same situation. I ended up driving myself and coming back home and taking care of myself for surgery. But I did ask. For help. I did ask my kids. I asked at the time I had a couple girlfriends. Ugh. Most didn't even reply back. One said they would, and then a day before said they wouldn't. No reason. So it hurts worse to ask for help and get turned down for no reason than to not ask at all. I bet y'all get that too. So yeah, living alone is no fun. On the other hand, here's the good stuff. I bet y'all know this too. The good stuff about living alone is I don't have to deal with anybody. When I was married, we got to the point where I couldn't stand his chewing. He couldn't stand my breathing. Like, we hated each other. We were married 15 years. We hated each other. And I'm much happier now without the bad stuff. I think let me put it this way. I think living alone now is better than living with the wrong person and being miserable. If I'm miserable, it's my own darn fault, right? If I'm miserable, it's my own darn fault. I can deal with that. I can talk to myself and get up off your butt off the couch. I can make myself. It's my problem. Nobody is making me do anything. It's all my decision, but it's all my decision. You know what I mean? All right. So there's good things to living alone. And there, I know it sounds stupid. I sound like a woman, don't I? It's good to live alone, but it's not good to live alone. If you're living alone, you get it. You understand what I'm saying. So, yeah, I'd rather be alone than with the wrong person. There's a song back, it goes something like, it's better to not be with the wrong one when the right one comes along. Let me know. I'm sure you all know the name of the song and how that line really goes. You don't want to be with the wrong one when the right one comes along. It's basically that. And I learned that the hard way. So it's not that I'm being picky when I'm dating, it's that I'm looking for a long-lasting love relationship for the rest of my life. I don't have time to mess around, but I am going to take my time. I know. I'm a girl. Okay. So there's good and bad about being alone. You can get over the bad. You can find ways to have more good. Before I forget, if you're having issues and you can't take it, you feel like you might hurt yourself or somebody else, call 988. Okay, it's the suicide hotline. Folks ask me if the cops are called. They don't call the police unless they feel that you're going to hurt yourself or someone else. So you can call them and talk to them. It's confidential. 988. Now, if you're out of the U.S. and you're watching this, which I have about half of my viewers are not in the U.S., or if you are you can go to this website, www.befriender.org. It's friender.org. befriender.org. So check that out. That's not a suicide hotline or anything. They can help you out. All right, there's also an older adult hotline. Here's the number, 800-971-0006. Okay, that's for anything you need. And dial 211 for United Way. So if you need food or shelter or a ride to the doctor or something like that, call 211 for United Way. All right, here's the good stuff. Here's what I do to get over the depression, actually to try and stop the depression before I get depressed, okay? Here's some things I do. I have a routine, so get you a routine. It gives you a little joy or a purpose. You have to have a purpose to get the heck out of bed in the morning, right? If it's good coffee, spend the money and buy you some good coffee so you can get your butt out of bed in the morning. And listen, it's okay. It's okay if you want to stay in bed for 2 days or on the couch for 2 days. That's not being lazy. I mean, if you stay in bed or on the couch for like a week, then yeah, you might think about talking to your butt, telling it to get up. But that's not being lazy. That's taking care of yourself. That's recouping your energy. That's just like calming down for a little bit. So don't feel guilty about resting. It's okay. I mean, come on. That's probably the first thing I would tell you to do. Because I bet if you're depressed, I bet all you want to do is sleep. And you just pray for the nighttime to come so you can go to bed because that's your favorite time of day because you don't have to think about all the crap you're thinking about. So, yeah, if you need sleep, just sleep. Just do it. You live alone. That's one of the good things about living alone. I can lay down on the floor and take a nap if I want. I can do whatever I want. All right. You can, I volunteer. Don't poo-poo that. Here's the thing. Volunteering, and listen, I used to volunteer at the food bank every Wednesday from 4 to 6. That's one of the days that folks come to get their food, right? From 4 to 6 on Wednesdays, which was awesome because I had to get my butt up. I had to get ready. I had to, go around people. I mean, there are days when I hate people. I hate the whole world some days. It's not very many, maybe twice a year. But here's what happens. You get sick, or if you're like me, I got very anxious. Very anxious. If I made plans to go out like a week from now or 2 weeks from now, the entire time between now and then, I would be getting anxious. Like I would be thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to go out to people. There's germs, or I'm tired, or I don't want to have to get dressed because I live in sweats and PJs, except when I'm with you guys. So I quit doing that. Anything that brings you stress or anxiety, just stop doing it. So what I do is I go to the food bank whenever I feel like it. When and the director knows that I have health issues, and so they know. I mean, listen, they'd rather have you show up for 1 hour a month than not at all. They're desperate for help, these nonprofits, right? So just go to them, check it out, see which one you want to help out. Maybe you want to help one of them out in the office. Maybe you want to answer the phones, from whatever, 3 to 4 on Fridays. Whatever it is. I'm sure there's something there that you would enjoy doing. If you don't want to be around people, do the office thing, right? If you want to be around people, then do what I did. I would take folks around to the food bank and, here's the shelves with the food. And I'd say, okay, you get 2 items off this shelf, blah, 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 and we'd fill the cart. So I'm sure there's some kind of volunteering that you could figure out what you like to do and the number of hours you want to do it. You can either set it up specific time and day, or you can just do like I do. When you feel like it, you just get dressed, go there for an hour, chat with people, be among people, get some fresh air. You help people. Helping people, that's one of the things I do most. It helps with my depression. It helps me keep that away from me. Because there's always somebody worse than you. There's these poor mamas that have these babies at St. Jude Hospital. And I know one of them. Her little baby goes down to St. Jude's. This poor baby. She has cancer. She's 2 years old. So, there's always somebody worse off than you. Always. You've got a roof over your head, food in your belly, you've got money to pay the bills, or you don't, but you've got a roof over your head and food in your belly. Right? So it's okay. Why be miserable all the time? Find a little bit of joy. You remember that feeling when you were happy, when you laughed till you peed, when somebody held your hand? Yeah. That's another thing that I do. I'm going to sign up for Bumble BFF. It's a dating app, but they also have, it's BFF, Best Friends Forever. And you can find friends in there. So I'm thinking, I'd like to find even just one girlfriend that we could hang out in town. Whatever. Go have lunch sometimes or go to concerts in the park that are free. So find you a friend, a neighbor, subscribe to my channel if you're not, because I'm going to put updates on every week on my dating on the websites or apps, and also finding a friend on the apps. By the way, you can also just get a friend online on Bumble BFF, and that just means you can just, email somebody, a girlfriend. There doesn't have to be any dating or sex or whatever. You can find girlfriends on there too. All right? Give yourself some grace. Whatever brings you anxiety, don't do it, or try not to do it. I mean, here's an example. The news these days, it's so depressing to me. So here's what I do. I watch one video a day. I watch it on YouTube. I watch the NBC News with Lester Holt. I don't know why I said that, but I like him. And so it's on a YouTube video every day, the night's news from before. And what I do is I just watch until I hear all the headlines. And if the world's not coming to an end, or there's not something that I really need to look at, I shut it off after the headlines. And that's all the news I watch. I used to be a news junkie. But it was just stressing me out. So whatever bothers you, don't do it. Or if it's something you have to do and it gives you anxiety, let's say paying bills. Here's what you do. Okay, so let's say you get paid once a month, like me. I have social disability, Social Security. If you pay the bills once a month, just do it. Just get it done. You know you've got to do it. Make it easy. Sit down one day a year and just kind of make you a list of all the bills you have to pay every month, how much they are, the ones you mail, make out a year's worth of envelopes with the stamps. Make it easy. So when you have to do it, it's not such a pain in your rear. It doesn't bring you anxiety. All right? For instance, I have to give myself a shot once a month. These shots are so painful. I mean, these are so painful. I literally take Rosie, my dog, I take her OUT. Sorry, I'm spelling because she's sitting down here. I didn't want her to go OUT because it's 22 below outside right now. But I literally, when I have to take these shots once a month, I take her OUT because I don't want her hearing me scream. I'm sure she still hears me because it's 10 seconds. You put in this plunger, and you have to hold that needle down until plunger pops up. And it's about 10 seconds. And I scream. I mean, it is so painful. So painful. But I know I've got to do it. So here's what I do. I schedule it. I schedule all the crap I don't want to do in one day. Right? Like my Social Security, I get paid once a month. So on that day, I pay all the bills first thing in the morning. I go buy my groceries that day. And then I buy myself a decent meal, right? And I come home and I give myself that stupid shot. And I'm done. I got all the crap done in one day for the whole month. So try and do that, okay? Try and get it all in one. Okay, say no to things. Say no. You don't have to do everything. If somebody asks you to do something and you just know you don't want to do it, you know that the days leading up to that, you're just going to regret it and hate it. Just say no. Just say no. What are they going to do? Just say no. Treat yourself to something little if you do something, and this staves off any kind of depression too. I do what I call a 1 at 1. Try this. I have a list on my refrigerator of 7 things, 1 for each day. Things that kind of give me a little happiness, a little joy. And so I made a list up a few months ago, 7 things, like take a warm bath. I get to have a banana split is one of them. One of them, I read another chapter of this book I've been wanting to read for years, right? So make your list of 7 things. Oh, one of my new ones, Fridays, I have one of these, I call them a halo, they're halo oranges, Halo. They're very easy to peel. It's not like the old orange, they're called halo. I got them because what I do is I get a bag, and I only need 4 because I have one on Fridays. It's my treat. I know I could have it every day, but then I take the rest of the bag over to my neighbor because she needs food. I take her stuff. So make you a list, 7 things. Could be anything. Brings you joy. Do one thing at 1 o'clock every day off that list. That's it. You would be amazed how that enriches your life. You really would. All right. So, yeah, I want y'all to take care of yourselves. Please share this with your friends or anyone, your Facebook, whatever. You never know who could use some help, who's really struggling. We all have those days. You know, I probably look like I'm put together sometimes. I mean, I don't think I look like I had a really hard day. Makeup is good for that. But you never know who, you know, they're on the verge, they're on the edge, and so yeah, please share this video, or at least the 988 phone number. If you know somebody is struggling, a neighbor, whoever, put a little note. Hey, call 988 if you need somebody to talk to, or call you. All right, I want y'all to hang in there. It's going to get better. I'm going to leave you with this. If you hang in there one more day, the most amazing thing can happen. Listen, I know. Because years ago, there was a day like that. I was ready to give up. It was bad. But somebody said that to me. Hang in there one more day. Just hang in there one more day. And the most amazing thing can happen. And you would not believe what happened the next day. That just fixed everything. So, yeah. I hope you all have fun and love. Get a little joy in your life. Everybody gets depressed. So don't let that get you depressed. All right. Love y'all. Bye.